my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Brinkat, and this is an exciting one. Today I'm going to review the latest sequel that came out, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. This film is the sequel to the 2019's Knives Out. This movie is directed by, once again, Rian Johnson, who directed the first movie. And this has the return of Daniel Craig as Detective Benoit Blanc. And this movie also stars Kathryn, Hahn, Edward Norton, Janelle, Madelyn, Cline, Jessica Henwick, Kate Hudson, Leslie Odom Jr., and Dave Bautista. Tech billionaire Miles Braun, played by Edward Norton, invites his friends for a getaway on his private Greek island. When someone turns up dead, Detective Benoit Blanc is put on the case. Now, of course, the first Knives Out movie I freaking loved. It's one of my favorite murder mystery movies that came out in a while. Rian Johnson directed that movie extremely well. The cast in that movie is fantastic, including the three standouts, which is Ana de Armas, Chris Evans, and especially Daniel Craig as Detective Benoit Blanc. This is one of my favorite roles from Daniel Craig for a while. So, of course, we have a sequel to this film, and apparently it's going to be a franchise. So, I was very skeptical for this film though, because of course the first Knives Out is so great. I really enjoyed the first Knives Out, but I don't know how the sequel is going to be. It does look great, I'm still excited to see it, but also you can't help going to sequels very, concerned. Like, we don't know if this is going to be better than the original or worse than the original film. But I gotta say, guys, I got to see an advanced screening of this film because this film is coming out on Netflix later in this December. I'm lucky a chance to see this advanced screening. Oh my god. What I said about Top Gun Maverick, that is definitely a bright example of a sequel that's better than the original in every way. I'm gonna say it again for Glass Onion, because this film, man, this film is great. I loved this film. Favorite movies of the year in that list, absolutely. I cannot do my best movies of 2022 without this movie. This film, from start to finish, is how you do a sequel right. Let's talk about the cast in this film. Absolutely, there's a lot of people in this film like the first movie, but everyone in this movie does a great job. But of course, I'm going to talk about some of the standouts in the film. But I gotta say, from Jessica Henwick, from Madelyn, who was really attractive in this film, Kate Hudson, Kathryn, Hahn, Leslie Odom Jr., Dave Bautista even, they did such a terrific job in the film. But of course, we have some standouts in this film. First of all, of course, let's talk about Daniel Craig reprising his role as Detective Benoit Blanc. Man, now, let's go back to Keanu Reeves for a second. This reminds me of Keanu Reeves when he does The Matrix. It was one of the most iconic performances that he's ever done. And then after that movie, he did some okay movies after that, and then when he did John Wick, that's when I'm saying he's back. He's back as a great actor, and we have another iconic performance by him. I'm going to say the same thing about Daniel Craig in this movie. He was great as James Bond, of course, it's his most iconic role. And then after that, he did okay. And then when it comes to this movie, especially this movie, and the first Knives Out, absolutely, Detective Benoit Blanc is another performance that I will remember Daniel Craig in. He is fantastic in this film. He's definitely one of those detectives that is not like any other detectives in murder mysteries. He has a bit of a personality into him, and we get to see that more in this film than the first Knives Out movie. And he's just very sarcastic, but also he's smart as hell. And in this movie, he does a terrific job. Daniel Craig, man, I'm going to remember him the most in this movie, absolutely. There are some moments in the film with Daniel Craig when you're like, alright, you don't want to mess with him. He is that great in this film. But also, without spoiling it, because this is a big role in this film, and I'm not going to spoil this role in the film, but Janelle in this film, she does a terrific job in this film. I'm not going to spoil her character in this film, because her character is very mysterious in this film. But when her character comes out, man, she is fantastic in this film. Her performance in this film is fantastic. This is one of her best performances. I've seen her in the film. I liked her in Hidden Figures, but this film, she really stands out. But also, Edward Norton is fantastic in this film. He's definitely another character I don't want to spoil. Like, this is a very hard to review without spoiling it. But I'll say his performance in this film is definitely one of his better ones, and I think Edward Norton does a really great job in this film. This film looks different in the first Knives Out movie. Just the way the movie looks alone. It looks more brighter than the first Knives Out movie. Because what I like about the first Knives Out movie is that it looks like a 50s murder mystery that took place in modern era. this movie feels much more paradisey with a murder mystery on its own. And just the tone and the story of this film is definitely different than the first Knives Out movie. And that's what I love about this film. If you have not seen the first Knives Out movie, this movie wouldn't make any difference. This film just felt like an episode of a Knives Out franchise, then a continuation. And I consider that as a good thing. The mystery of this film is one of my favorite aspects of the film, because this is absolutely one of the most original and different murder mysteries that I have seen this entire year. I'm not going to tell you how the mystery is presented in this film. You have to see it for yourself. Because this murder mystery film is something that you really need to listen and you really need to feel invested, because I was so invested in this mystery from the beginning. And just the characters in the film, they're great in this film. They have their own chance to shine, they have their own point of views, and the performances of the film is fantastic from everyone. It's just I love how different and unique and original this movie is. And honestly, why is this movie streaming on Netflix? This would have been a great theater watch, because the audience in my theater were like gasping at a lot of aspects of this film. So I don't understand why it's coming on Netflix. I think this would have been a great theater movie. The story of this film, the investigation of this film is fantastic. The editing also. This has some of the best editing that I've seen this entire year. There are some great cuts in this film where I'm like, that is well done. That is very clever. And Rian Johnson, you can see how passionate he is through these two movies, especially this movie. You can see his imagination brought to life in this film. I just want to say, Rian Johnson, keep doing these movies, because I can see what you are doing. And of course, they're making a third movie in development, and of course, I'm very pumped for it. I find this film flawless, in my opinion. I don't have much issues with this film. I loved Glass Onion from start to finish. This film was so invested and so determined. And it's one of those movies that I felt like I cannot wait to see more of this. Overall, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Man, this movie blew me away. This is another great example of how to do a sequel right. This is absolutely, in my opinion, better than the first Knives Out movie. Even though I still love Knives Out, this movie I will remember for a while this year. The performances of the film is fantastic, from Daniel Craig, Jessica Henwick, Janelle Monáe, Edward Norton, with the rest of the cast, which I'm not going to explain all over again. They all did a terrific job in the film. The murder mystery is so unique, original, and different. The story, the dialogue of this film is fantastic. The cinematography as well is really great in this film. But the editing stands out also in this film. Guys, I would say, I don't know if it's still in theaters right now. I don't think it was. But please check out this movie when it comes out on Netflix. This film is an amazing time in the movies. And I am absolutely going to give Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, an A+. Man, absolutely this movie will be in my top 5 favorite movies of the year. Absolutely. I love this movie. This has some of the best performances of the year, especially from Daniel Craig. Man, he is going places after this film. So guys, that is my review for Glass Onion, and Knives Out mystery. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like this film, hate this film, or you find this movie okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. Keep contacting with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel notified for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.